Hello, everybody, and welcome to September's Ask Me Anything session. I am here today to answer the questions that I've been sent in advance, along with any follow-up questions that anybody who is here live might have. If anybody is watching this on replay and you have some follow-up questions based on what I say in this, anything that you found confusing or you want some clarification on, then make sure you put that into the comments underneath the video and I will come back to you. So let's get started. I've had 5 questions submitted in advance of today's session, but they're all pretty quick questions. So those of you who are here live, if you have questions that you want to ask, then we will certainly get the time to do those as well. So I'm going to start with a question from Pip. So Pip asked, I'm confused by the note speech bubble next to my profile picture. What is the purpose of this? Why might I use it? And who can see it? Really good question, because actually this is something that we haven't talked about at all. And actually, I don't know, a couple of months ago, that I know that Instagram, Adam Mosseri, not literally Instagram, Adam Mosseri, who's the head of Instagram, said that they were phasing this out because it hasn't had the uptake that they were hoping for. But at the moment, it is still there. So, let's talk about why it's there and what you can use it for. Okay, so for anybody who hasn't seen this yet, for anybody who hasn't come across this yet, the way in which you can locate it is if you open your Instagram app and you go to your home feed, so tap on the little house in the bottom left-hand corner. And then what you need to do is you need to tap on the top right-hand corner where your sort of little arrow sort of is the little aeroplane icon, where you go to look at any messages, any DMs that you've received. You will then notice at the top of your DMs, there are probably some circles. Your profile picture should be on the very left-hand side, possibly with a blank note there. And then you might see that you've got lots of profile pictures there. And some of those will have these little speech bubbles and with a note in them. Okay, so these are Instagram's effort, one of Instagram's efforts to kind of offer a feature that is all about community. It's their attempt to jump on a trend that they were noticing with younger users, especially, who were sending posts privately to one another. They were sharing posts privately to one another rather than sharing them publicly to their stories. And there is, in general, just this move towards like private, small group chats, small communities in terms of how people are using digital platforms. So this was one of Instagram's features that they've added in as part of their effort to appeal to that side of things, because these notes can only be seen by one of 2 groups of people. And when you add a note, you get to choose who you want to see it. And the 2 groups of people are your close friends. So those are people that you have selected and added to a close friends list. So you've already pre-selected who can see the notes. Or the other option you get given is followers of yours who you follow back. So the assumption is that you have some kind of deeper relationship with these people, because these are accounts that you follow and they follow you back. And those are the only 2 groups of people who you can make it so that they see your notes. Nobody else sees your notes. So anybody who sort of accidentally lands on your account won't see your notes. Anybody who follows you, but you don't follow them, won't see your notes. So I suppose you could see the notes as a small communication tool for the people who are most engaged with what you're doing, and you are also engaged with what they're doing. So it's kind of like a community feature. So what you can use them for, I suppose, is if you wanted to alert people to something. So people who you know are already engaged with your work and you're engaged with them and you have an existing relationship and you think you are doing something or have something that they are going to be interested in, you can add that to your note. It is only 60 characters, 60 characters, which is, includes spaces and punctuation. So it's not a lot of space. But like, for example, Pip, you could use a note to the next time you have a retreat. You could use it to sort of say, retreat spots now open. You could have that up there on your notes. And when people open up their DMs, their inbox, it's right at the top of that DM feed. So people who are already engaged with you and your work are more likely to see it. You might also use it if you've got, I don't know, like a book that's coming out, a brand new book out now. You could put that in a note. Your warmest audiences, the people who are most likely to go and buy that book, if you follow them and they follow you, they will see that note. And it's just another nudge for them to see that. Or it could be that you share a message that a short message that will really resonate and speak to your core audience. So something that you really deeply care about, and you just want to share that in a message of solidarity or whatever it might be with your core audience, with the people that you have that closest relationship with. So the way to use it is to think of it as another way of building community, of talking to the people who are already most invested in the work that you do. So let me just check my notes and make sure. Oh, you can also reply to somebody's note as well. I should say that. So this is another way. So it's kind of like a DM, but it's more public than a DM, but it's not as public as putting something in your stories. So if you open up your DMs and you have a look at the circles across the top and who's got a note there, if you tap on a note, you can reply directly to that note. So it facilitates that communication with the most active members of your community, the people that you're already most engaged with. So, you can use it just to open up like a conversation with those people. Sandy, I can see you are holding up your phone. Are you just checking to see you've got the
So
right
I just
thing?
wanted, I'm sorry, I entered a couple minutes late and it is
Don't worry.
like worse than London today in terms of the rain, but the humidity, I didn't have to work out. I'm
Is it
sweating
hot?
already.
Oh
So
no, it's cold.
it's
It's
just
cold here.
so humid here. I hate it. So I wanted to just make sure. So I went into my DMs and I have my weird glasses on, so I can't really see it. And in the DMs, you're saying these circles on top.
Yeah,
And so if I were to like tap on her and then I could DM her, but I'm
yeah.
sending her a note that her followers would see too.
No, so you're only replying to her. You're only sending something to her. Now,
How is that different from like just DMing in the normal list?
so normally, I'm surprised actually, because normally on my one, I'll show you.
Yeah.
On my one, can you see there are
Yeah.
notes already attached to these people up here?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I can reply to those notes. Have you got notes like that above
I
the
have above
circle?
my face, you can see note and
Oh
new note.
yeah,
I had no idea
yeah.
what that was, so I'm glad
Yeah.
you're telling
So
us.
you can add that in. You can add a little bit of text there, whatever you
Oh,
want
and
to
then it says
say.
share with
But,
friends.
there you go. But only your followers, sorry, only people that you follow who follow you back will be able to see it.
So I have zero close followers right now. I need to work
Okay,
on
so
that.
that's something that you can do then. You could make your close friends list,
Yeah.
and then you can then use it to be communicating with
Oh, because you
people.
can check either people who follow you
Yeah,
or your
that's it.
close
So you
friends.
can
So you have a way
choose
of,
either one
yeah.
of those two audiences for those notes, exactly. So I suppose the way it's different to a DM is that the DM only goes to that person unless you've set up a group. Whereas if you are putting a note on your profile, all of the people that you select to see it will see it. And all of those people can then reply individually to you. It doesn't go out to everybody. So,
Got it.
if you did a DM group, everybody would be able to see everybody's replies. So that's how it would be different to DMs.
Can I ask another
Yeah,
question
go ahead.
if this is helpful to people? So I go to, do a new note and there's three
Mhm.
things here. There's like the prompt, the music, and the location. I never share my location. Music, would that be something that would go in the background of whatever you type here? And
No,
then,
so you can literally share a song. So if you're listening, if you've got a favorite song that you're listening to, you can literally share the song with people.
and
Yeah,
then
which is
what,
pretty cool. Quite like that.
why would this be different than just sending a normal like text? Why does
So a
write a
normal DM.
prompt? Sorry.
So if you added a note,
Yeah,
then everybody that you selected, so either your close friends list, if you
for
have
your
people in it,
followers.
or the other one is followers who follow you. No,
Right.
no, hang on a minute. Followers who you follow. So you follow each other.
Right.
And all of them then would be able to see that note, which so if you can't send everybody a DM.
No, no, what I mean is the middle button under my face is a
Yeah.
prompt. Like if you click on that, it says write a prompt. How is writing a prompt different from just writing a note?
Oh, I think it's just like a prompt, as in to prompt a response from people, like ask a question. I actually don't
Oh.
have that. I only have music notes.
Oh.
Yeah. So I
Yeah, I
can
got
add a
other stuff.
song or I can add a message. I don't have any other options.
Yeah, so just so you know, that's what mine looks like.
Yeah,
And the
like
That's the
mine,
middle
same as
one,
yours, Nick.
the location one obviously is the one that's got everybody upset, rightly so, because of safety
yeah, I
concerns.
don't use that. But what I'm saying is the middle one, just so you know, if
Mm,
you click on the middle one, it says write a prompt, but there's no like, what I'm trying to, and you don't know this because you don't have it, but what I'm
I don't
trying to
have
understand is
it.
why would that be different from just being like, let me just
Yeah,
DM everybody a question. And
yeah.
there's no like, there's no template for the write a prompt. It's not like you're saying, what's making you happy today or whatever. So I mean, I can look it up, but I didn't even know this feature until we're talking about it now. So I can go do
I
some
will look it
digging.
up. I will look it
Yeah.
up because I can then add it into when I do the notes for this.
Okay.
So I will definitely look it up because the answer is I don't know.
Exactly. And then I don't know if you have this too on the top. There's like these new icons, which I'm like, what the hey? That and that. So anyway,
Oh,
this smiley face in the quadrifoil takes you to like discover AIs, which is so stupid. Um,
oh, okay.
and then the three dots gives you a select chats or tools. I haven't, again, I don't know anything about this. So I'm just letting you know if you wanted to
I
look it
don't
up
think
and
I've got
then,
those. I don't know if I need to update my app because I do have this little smiley face.
sorry,
Oh,
you were
that
going to say
one.
something.
The select chats is your chats with all your DM chats because then you can manage them. So you can move them from your primary to your general inbox, or you can
Got it.
delete it. If you
Got
want to
it.
delete the whole chat, you can also do things like markers unread, flag them up if you need to. I
Mhm.
imagine that's like if you need to respond to something, or you can mute it if it's one you don't want. Maybe you don't want to delete it because obviously the other person will know you've deleted it, but you also don't want to hear from them anymore. So you just mute it. So yeah, that's that one. Let me cancel that. And then that's just to write a message. That one is the pen. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I will look up the writer prompt. How is it different to just simply writing a note
Mhm.
and have a look? Okay.
If I could ask
Any?
something quickly as well, if that's
Yeah.
okay.
Go ahead, Kathleen.
Sorry. So my friends managed to get her in a sorry.
It's all right.
In a pink. She's made her bubble pink. I don't know how she's. I mean,
Hmm.
I could ask her.
Well, you can now. Um, you can now customize your inbox, which I have just not done. So maybe if you customize your DM inbox, you can put backgrounds and things in it. It also makes your note a different color because that would be quite cool because it's quite attention grabbing, isn't it? If somebody's note is pink, you're like, "Ooh, why is
Yeah.
theirs pink?"
Yeah,
So
I'll
how,
look,
so,
if you can give us a link on how to do that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, let's have a look. I will look that up as well. I've not seen anybody do that. None of mine are pink. They're all just, you can also put in, you could probably put in, you can't put in a live link, but you can put in a link to another Instagram account. So if you wanted to draw attention to something that you've got going on somewhere else on Instagram, you can link to that Instagram account as well. So I don't know if you were doing a collaboration with another Instagram creator, you could, going live today with, or something like that, you could add that into a note as well. So how to customize inbox and notes. Cool. I will look those things up and let you know. Now, like I said at the beginning, I know that like a couple of months ago, they were saying, Instagram was saying they're phasing this out, but it doesn't seem to have gone anywhere yet. So maybe they've changed their mind. I don't know. We shall see. Any more questions about the notes? If not, I'm going to move on to another question that was submitted and in advance. Okay, so this is a question about the reposting button, which I have talked about before, but I'm happy to just very quickly run through it again. So the question is, if you repost a post, where does it appear? And when or why might you use this? And this person said, sorry if that's a really basic question. There is no such thing as a basic question. I would just think it's worth saying that, because Instagram is constantly throwing brand new things at us, and you can't possibly be expected to keep up with all of them, which is kind of, I guess, why you're in something like this, is that I will help you keep up with all of them. So there is no such thing as a stupid question. So don't worry about it. Okay, so for anybody who hasn't seen it, underneath every post in your feed now, you will probably see 4 icons. Five actually. There used to be 4. You used to have the like icon, the heart, the little speech bubble. You had to have the aeroplane, so you could send the post somewhere, and you'd have a save icon on the right hand side. There are now 5 icons, and one of them looks like a recycle arrow. So there's 2 arrows kind of going around in a square. Thank you. There we go. You can see it there. 1, 2, 3 from the left. So, actually, I just realized that because the way I've got this set up, Sandy, the recording won't pick you up, because it only picks up the person who is speaking. So I will show you on my, there we go, that one there, if you can see that little double arrow thing. Okay. This feature is a little bit like retweeting something. So if you remember back in the days before Twitter was bin fire, you used to be able to hit a retweet button, and your followers would then see that tweet from somebody else without you doing anything to it. So you were just literally sharing somebody else's tweets, somebody else's content with your audience. This is exactly the same concept. So if you see a post that you absolutely love, that's from somebody who you are, sorry, hold on a second. My daughter is finished school early today, so she's just coming in. Hold on.
I have to say, I love that Nicola doesn't hide that she's multitasking and a caregiver.
Oh,
I remember I was doing like a talk for one of my professional groups last year, and it was on DEI, and I said, oh, I'm sorry, I paused it. I didn't go off camera. I just paused it to give my husband and my son a hug before they left for their camping trip. And literally the chat lit up like, way to go, thanks for keeping it real. You're truly a boss, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Nicola, go ahead.
That's good.
Thank you. That's
Relatable.
nice.
Yes.
Yeah. I always think that one of the things I like most about working from home and especially during COVID was how it normalized that now is just not a thing. It's just like, yeah, cool, this happens. Ada's school has an open evening this evening, so they've just finished an hour early today. So she's looking at me. She's staring at me. She's going to be listening in now. So what were we talking about? The repost button. Yes. So this is just like the retweet. So if you repost something, your followers will get that in their feed. It's a really great way to share something that you really like, you know, to kind of like populate your feed with content from other people that you think your audience will like. It's a great way to support other people. So if you have other writers whose books are coming out and you want to support them, you can share their content with your audience, their announcements or whatever with your audience as well. There is a nice little feature to it where you can add into the corner, you can add a little note. Again, it's only a small number of characters, but it's enough to kind of just almost like just explain why you've shared that post, but also to sort of point out that you have shared it, so people know kind of like who has shared it. So you can also repost once your own content. You know, you're on screen.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all right. Just in case you didn't realize.
Sorry.
You can also repost.
Baba.
It's just throwing hair products around now.
Sorry.
It's all right. Don't worry. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you can also, what was I saying? Oh yeah, add in like a little thing in the corner where you sort of explaining why you are sharing it. And it also shows people that they are receiving it from you. That's what I was saying. You can also repost your own posts once. I've sort of been testing this a little bit by sort of waiting a few days for the reach to really plateau on my posts and on my reels, and then reposting them. And it doesn't make a huge difference. It's not going to make a huge difference. But I definitely think some people who missed it the first time round are seeing it as a result of it popping up in their feed when I do that repost. So it certainly doesn't cost you anything other than a millisecond of your time. So if you have posts that you sort of think, oh, I'll just repost it myself, you can do that. Yeah. So that's how. So Sandia, you're just holding up a note in the corner that explains why somebody else has reposted that post. So it's worth adding that on, because then people understand why it's appeared in their feed, because you're the person that's shown it to them. So it's a way of kind of just like giving them a nudge and saying, you know, I'm sharing this with you. Now, anecdotally speaking, I have heard some people saying that the repost button has seen a drop in the number of people sharing posts to stories now, and that and the repost button is suppressing the reach of posts that used to get seen in stories. I'm not sure about this. I have heard it being said. I don't know what people are basing this on. So, you know, it's something that I'm just sort of keeping an eye on, and I will see if that bears truth or not, because typically story views are so low that you know, typically for most people, that I don't really see why it would make a huge amount of difference if you put a post into somebody's feed as opposed to putting it in your stories. Because if you put it in your stories, you're relying on them going up to your stories to watch it in order to see it. So I kind of think, whereas it's just going to land in their feed if you use the repost button. So I kind of think, you know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I'm not really sure about that, but in case you've heard that, I am going to sort of keep looking at it and looking at what people's experiences are and see what I hear on the grapevine, and I will pass it on as and when I have any more information about that. Is there any other question about reposts? Go ahead, Sandy. Do you want to take yourself off mute?
Thank you. So one thing I wanted to ask you, I mean, first of all, like I'm still learning all this stuff. So thank you. Because I feel like this is such a safe space, and your content and your Substack is amazing. And I'm like so behind on the reset for September. I think I'm still in week 2, but whatever. So my question is, reposting you just talked about the reposting versus sharing. What about saving? Because what I've been doing with my author Instagram is I will save book covers, for later for comps. I will save promotion ideas. I'll save IG post ideas, etc. And usually it's people that I follow and that I like because I know that when I save their stuff, that's giving them a boost. They don't know that I'm saving it though. So that's the thing. Like there's not so much of a quid pro quo, but I don't know if like posting it to my stories makes sense because it's their stuff and it's not about me and it's like my story. I could share it using this thing and just being like, bookmarking this for later when it's time for my book covers or something like that. So they see that and then they also see that I'm bookmarking it. Would that be like the right strategy? I'm sort of thinking this out loud with you.
I actually think that's a really nice way of using it, because you're right. The one downside, because a save is an interaction, so therefore any interaction in terms of a signal to the algorithm is benefiting the person on the receiving end of that, because any interaction is going to help the algorithm decide to push that post out further. So a save is great. But the other person, unlike a like, unlike a comment, unlike a share, the other person doesn't know that you have saved it because they just get a number. They don't get a breakdown of who has saved their posts. So yeah, absolutely. If you reposted it and put like, I've saved this is, whatever you put in the little corner. I think that is a really nice way. And it's also, I think it's important not to think transactionally, but and to think relationally. But also part of building relationships with people is that we act in community. We support one another. That it isn't all in one direction. So it is an activity that you can participate in that is part of showing willing to support other people. By sharing, by reposting their stuff into your feed and sharing it with your audience. And the other thing I would remember is that anybody where you're kind of like looking at somebody else's posts and somebody else's contents and you're thinking, well, I like that and I see how this is relevant to my book. That is going to kind of appeal to your ideal reader as well. So you are sort of softly signaling to your audience what they're going to expect, what they're able to expect from your book as well. So all of it is, it's just the little pieces of the puzzle that when you put that puzzle together and you get the whole picture, it's of kind of like a richer picture in terms of the ways in which you've built those relationships up over time, the different things that you've done to support other people. So I would say, yeah, that sounds like a decent strategy, definitely.
Great. And then if I'm sharing, reposting, not sharing to my story, if I'm reposting and if I'm saving their content, bookmarking it, does that somehow make me more visible to their audience in some way? Like, is there, and I don't know if you know the answer to this, but I'm just curious.
No, it won't do.
Okay.
So the only thing that would make you more visible to their audience might be if you posted a story with with your own comment on it, and you've tagged them, and they then repost your story to their stories. You might get a little bit of extra visibility because their warmest audience who's watching their stories will see your story on their stories. So that would be how you might be able to sort of raise awareness amongst their audience and reach their audience. One of the best ways I still think to sort of beyond sort of like proper collaboration where you jointly participate in something is to be commenting under other people's posts, because people do read the comments. They will see other people's comments. So be leaving meaningful, thoughtful comments is one of the best ways to kind of reach other people's audiences. I think it's still one of the best ways. Okay, so let me just get up the other question, the next question. Okay, so Kathleen, you were asking about footage that people have used that's clearly not being filmed by them, or is a clip from film or TV show, and you're asking about where to find this or how to use it. Now, I know that I have answered this question before, so I've got this somewhere in one of the other Ask Me Anything sessions. I think the answer from memory was basically like YouTube. People are grabbing clips off YouTube, or they are repurposing clips that they see elsewhere on Instagram. I have been doing a little bit of investigation out of curiosity, professional curiosity, into CapCut templates. But that requires you to kind of be learning another video editing thing. So you might say, actually, that's as much work as anything else. And so I've got no interest in doing it. But in CapCut templates, they do have loads of memes, and there's also a whole TikTok tab where you might find templates that are little clips from cartoons or TV shows that you can then add your own text over the top. But I'll be honest with you, there are so many of them that you could just be down a rabbit hole for half an hour just scrolling through them, trying to find something that feels relevant to what you're doing. So that's not a perfect solution either. So I will find the other answer regarding clips, but the other thing to have a look at is CapCut templates, which again I will put a link to in the notes, so you can have just to have a quick look and see if it's something you want to investigate further. But just bear in mind that it could just be another time sink, actually, that of time you don't have, of time that none of us have. We're all time poor.
Thank you. And so I have heard you say that actually, sorry, before about grabbing a clip from YouTube. I just have no idea how to grab a clip from YouTube.
Sorry, did you say that again, Kathleen? You broke up. I think it's my end because my internet's a bit sketchy.
Yes, you said about grab a clip from YouTube, but I'm so technically inept. I have no idea how to grab a clip from YouTube.
Okay. Oh, because Sandy is waving at me. I think she's got an answer for us. Go ahead.
I feel like Hermione. I shared this before too on a previous Ask Me Anything. There is a button that you can install on your home screen that records your phone screen. So then you go to the YouTube that you want to do. I just did this, which is why I know this. And you can record your home screen, play the YouTube video. It'll record your home screen and the tech and the sound. And then instead of CapCut, I use the Clips, which is the native Instagram video editor, because you can do everything you need to do right there and it's very user-friendly. CapCut is very professional. There's a lot more you can do in CapCut, but for, normal, regular folks like us, we don't really need all that capability. So then I will import the video into the Clips, and then you can cut it, you can edit it, you can mute it, so you can put your own audio over it, you can put your own music over it, etc. I'll stop talking, but I'll find the YouTube user that showed me how to record on my phone, and I'll stick it in the chat again.
Thank you.
Oh,
that'd be perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I will grab that link as well because I'll make sure I put it into the notes. The one thing I would caution, Kathleen, when you are screen recording is make sure you turn off your mic on your phone, because otherwise it will pick you up or whatever's going on in the background rather than the sound on the video. And you want the sound on the video rather than you or anything else.
If you use this record button, it actually doesn't do anything but record your phone.
Oh, right. So, okay. Because I've done it. I've got one on my one. I have to either turn my mic on or off. Otherwise, it picks up me like heavy breathing into my nose.
Yeah. I mean, I did it while I was in the car with my family while on our road trip vacation, and like they did not have to shut up.
And it was fine. All right.
Yeah. But I mean, like play with the settings, see what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Have a look.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay. So where did we get to? Okay. Next one. Okay, and then Kathleen has a couple of questions about stories, about little functions on stories. Kathleen, I have a feeling you're not going to like my answer to one of them, but the first one was about adding music to a story, when you do that, the song lyrics come up, you drag them to the side, but you can still see the edge of them. Is there a way of making them invisible? Yes. So weirdly, I had to go and hunting for a track with lyrics on it, because everyone, I was like going, this doesn't happen to me. So my one, when I add music to a story, it kind of brings up like an icon, like the name of like a front cover, almost like an album cover thing. And if I tap on that, it then will show me the lyrics. So if for some reason you're getting the lyrics first, but if you tap on the lyrics, what it will do is it will kind of like scroll you through different styles of lyrics, and then you will get to, so tap on it, I don't know, 3 or 4 times, it'll scroll you through different types of lyrics, and then you'll get to like an image, like a thumbnail image, and you can then shrink that thumbnail image down and just pop it in the corner somewhere, and you won't have the song lyrics. But not every single song has lyrics, or at least has lyrics that it picks up on. So you shouldn't find that that's always the case. But yeah, when next time that happens, for whatever reason, you are being given the lyrics first, just tap through it, and it will change it to the thumbnail. I do wonder if it's one of these responsive things where, I don't know if any of you have noticed that when you go to create a post, on the menu down at the bottom, it automatically selects whichever is I'm not sure if it's either your most recent post that you've created. So if you created a reel last, it automatically selects reel, or if you created a story last, it automatically select story, or if it's the most commonly used post format that it automatically selects. But it is like a responsive menu that seems to automatically select whichever one it thinks you want based on your past activity. And I wonder if that lyrics thing on the stories is it thinks you want the lyrics each time. So if you tell it enough times that you don't want the lyrics, you just want the thumbnail, and you're going to shrink it down and stick it in the corner, maybe it will stop doing that unless you want it to. We'll see. But it's pretty straightforward. You just tap through them.
One of the options I get on that is music only.
Do
Like,
you?
I don't even need the thumbnail. I keep going and I get, in fact, it came up first just now, because that's what I usually do, probably. Music only, so there's nothing on display.
I don't have that option, because I tested it earlier when I was getting ready, and I was like, mine goes, I've got 2 styles of thumbnail, and then I've got maybe 4 styles of lyrics. There you go. They just like messing with us, I guess. the long and the short of it. Okay, so Kathleen, does that answer that question? Cool. And then your last one. Okay, so I'm going to read it so people know what I'm talking about. So first of all, when I share a story, I often add something great, like a GIF of someone laughing, for example. Then I go to enlarge or move the thing that you've added, the sticker or the graphic or the GIF, and it disappears behind the original post. I end up spending ages faffing about, dragging it to the side, then repositioning it. What am I doing wrong? Okay, the short answer is you're not doing anything wrong, Kathleen. It's just one of these really annoying, it's not even a glitch. It's a feature. It just kind of will position whatever the last thing you touched was, it will position that at the top of the layers, on the top layer. And if for some reason on your phone screen it thinks that you've touched the post as opposed to the sticker you've just dropped on top of the post, which God knows why that happens, but sometimes it happens to me constantly, it then puts the post back on the top layer. So it's nothing that you are doing wrong. It's one of these just annoying, slightly fiddly, glitchy bits of Instagram that is annoying. I don't know if any of you
there is a thing you can do now.
Yeah.
When you hold one of your layers, a thing pops in from the side with like lines, so that you can move the layers up and down.
What?
So you hold the sticker.
Yeah.
For long enough, if you hold it just the right position for long enough, the thing slides in, and it's just got 3 lines or 4 lines, or however many layers you've got, and then you keep holding the thing, and then you move it up and down the layers.
All right,
it's not like brilliant, but it helps a bit.
It's something. Right, I'm testing this. So if I hold a sticker, oh yeah,
There you go.
Oh my God, right. So I've just put 2 stickers on a picture of my forehead. I've got balloons here, and I've got like some weird, I don't even know what that is underneath. It's a raccoon. So if I hold that down, can you see? You can either press, there's like a lock there, which I'm assuming means it won't dance up and down the different layers if you lock it in position, or there's that little icon on this side of the screen here. And if I go up, it moves it up a layer. And if I go down, it moves it down a layer. I don't know if you can see that tiny line moving. Cat, I had no idea they'd added that. That is great.
I think I
Thank
found
you
it by
so much.
accident one day, and it does. It helps a lot with that fiddling.
Thank you.
It
I mean,
does.
sometimes it
so
like
annoying.
sometimes it does decide for itself to move things up and down the layers as well.
Yeah,
You know, but
yes.
then you've still at least got that to go back in and
You can go back again, which is way
Yeah.
easier than having to like move everything to the side, move everything to the bottom corner,
Yeah.
put things back in the middle, put things back on top.
This
Like, it's
tip
so
alone has saved me multiple hours. Like 1 hour spent with you guys has just saved me multiple hours down the road. Thank you
I
so
know
much.
I've
that's so
given
cool.
up
Thank you, Kat.
sometimes on storage because I drive me insane.
Sorry. I don't know if you could hear that. That was the YouTube video just playing, auto playing. Okay, so those were all the questions that were submitted in advance. Is that right? I've got that one, done that one. 1, 2. Yes, that's all of them. So does anybody have anything else that you would like to ask? Go ahead, Sandia. Thank you. Hermione. I'm going to switch
Hermione. Well, first of all, I wanted to say again, thank you so much for everything, like everything. And I'm still working my way through the reset, so I'll get there. I did grab your first template batch. I don't know if you've created any more since the first time you did it in September. What I wanted to say, it was more of a comment, but also like just to get your feedback. I read something on Substack the other day. I don't know if you guys follow Bad Redhead Media. She's wonderful when it comes to like how to market yourself and, provide that encouragement. And one of the things that she did was actually restack someone else who said, who broke down the statistics of like how nobody is looking at your content. So it goes back to this idea of like 30 garbage day posts that we talked about last month, like the 30-day garbage challenge. Just post it, right? I fell off the wagon. I haven't really done anything in like a month. And the fear started to creep back in, right? Of like, what am I doing? People are going to see me. I look like this all the time. Where's my makeup? All of that. But it just kind of reset. It's like, I'm not even reaching 0.1% of the people on social media. So except for showing my bits, like there's no reason for me not to, do the things. And maybe if I did show my bits, then I would get more traction. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say, like, how do you suggest, because like I said, I'm still working through your Instagram reset. How do you suggest at the end of September that we sort of get back into the things now that the kids are back in school and we've gotten through all that transitional mishigas?
Do you know, I think the first thing to do, sorry, it's all happening.
I love this timing because my kids are not they're not home, right? When it was earlier, I was trying to get them out the door to get to school and everything, but now I'm like home by myself, and obviously Nicola's having the opposite
Yeah, no,
experience.
I'm completely with you. I like it when real life is going on. It makes it very relatable.
Yeah, I thought it was funny we were saying that earlier because my husband still kind of gets in this mindset of nobody open the door, nobody come near me. Like, it's like the rest of us just get on with it. Life is going on in the background, and I'm pretty sure his colleagues, their life is going on in the background. He's not sitting there judging them for it, but he's just like, don't come near me, don't come in the room.
Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah. I'm glad kind of dropped the pretense. don't like the pretense. I think he was a man from the RNIB. Is that the Royal something? Is that the blind? I don't even know what that stands for. Anyway,
Royal National Institute for the Blind.
That's the one. Yes. Right. So, so the first thing I would do, that's what I was saying. The first thing I would do is go back to why you're doing it. Like, I think that having clarity over, well, why am I doing this? What is this for? This is not about just like vanity. This is not just about accumulating numbers for no reason at all. There is a clear purpose behind this. Can just sometimes by itself be a motivator, because you think, oh yeah, like I'm not doing this. I'm not setting this out to break records. I'm not setting out to go viral. I'm not setting out to grow an audience of hundreds of thousands of people. What I'm trying to do is reach people who I think are going to be super engaged in my writing, super engaged in my work, who are then going to be the ones who help me to spread the word about it when the time comes. Because knowing why you're doing it can sort of just take some of that reluctance to do it away. I think that it's kind of like, oh yeah, this is worth it. Because sometimes the numbers, if you just look at the numbers, you think, well, God, this is just a waste of time. And the other thing is, if I don't do this, what's the alternative? Like, if I've got a plan, another way of doing this, then okay, maybe I investigate that. But if I haven't, and this is my best way of reaching people, then how can I make the best of it that I can? I think that's always got to be the foundation that you come back to, that you return to, like way before you start thinking about what you're going to post from day to day. And then, once you've sort of said, okay, why am I doing this? Then it's kind of like, okay, and who am I trying to reach? Let me refresh my memory. Like, who am I trying to reach? What do they care about? What are they interested in? What can I talk to them about that is going to be interesting to them? That is not about my books. It's adjacent to my books, but it's not about my books. So that's the second thing. And then from that's where your content comes from. It comes from your whys, and it comes from understanding what your audience are looking for. And then it just becomes far easier to then figure out what those daily posts need to look like. But, caveat being that you've got to manage your time carefully. You have books to write. You can't be spending all of your time. So the session that I'm running next Tuesday is about kind of sitting down and looking at this next 3 months until the end of the year, and being really sort of brutal with ourselves about our capacity and what can we do, so that we're not going to do nothing, but we're not going to do everything. Like, we're just not, because we can't. So, but what can we do? How much time do we have? Are there moments in the next 3 months where we know we can do nothing? So what can we do in the times where we do have the bandwidth for it? Don't tell me there's 100 days left in the year. I cry. Oh my God. Oh my God.
The London Writers Salon did like 100 days left to finish your, like, what are you going to accomplish, right? And the 100 days left in the year in your book. And I'm like, oh crap. And then Novel November has come out, like NaNoWriMo is demolished, and now it's Novel November. And I'm like, okay, that's another, like, I feel like, anyway, it's very overwhelming in a different way.
It is. Sometimes I find that almost, it's like, oh, well, I might as well do nothing then. If there's only 100 days left, what's the point? That's how it makes me feel. It's like not even a whole year.
Just going to crack out the Christmas nog now.
I was going to say, let's start watching Christmas films. How many can we cram in 100 days?
I know, exactly. So
if you do something for 5 minutes a day for 100 days,
it's going to add up.
A lot of time.
Yeah, it is. Right. So, does that help? Does that help, Sandy? Because I know that's a very kind of nebulous answer. That's perhaps, is not kind of like a tick list of things to do.
No, I think it's helpful because I think I have the tick list, like I said, from your September reset posts. And it's just with, the kids transitioning back to school, my day gets broken up differently because I still have to pick up my daughter. So it's just me saying like, okay, the hour that I'm sitting there for her dance class, that's when I'm going to do my TMI stuff, or, you know, whatever
Yeah.
it may be, like
Yeah.
try to organize it so I feel like I'm
Yeah.
getting it done and I'm not
And maybe like earmark an hour, just 1 hour on one
right.
day to go, why, you know, like, let me define this for myself. Like, why am I doing this? Almost like a mission statement type thing. And then, you know, earmark another hour, another day to sort of like really be thinking about who it is that you're trying to reach. And then you've got those kind of two, I don't even know what you'd call them. You've got those two like ideas really pinned down that you can keep referring back to then when you sort of if you find that you get stuck at all. Yeah, I think I think there's always this rush to what can I post, because that's how the platforms encourage us to behave. But actually, if you are going to do this effectively and efficiently and sustainably and authentically, you need to take that step back first. So yeah, that's where I would begin, definitely. I have to go in 5 minutes in order to get Zach from school. So is there anything else before we finish for today that anybody would? Oh, Kathleen, you had your hand up a minute ago. Your little
I did,
thingy.
but I felt it was a bit passive aggressive to keep it up.
No, it wasn't. No, you need to keep it up because I will forget. You have to keep no
Thank you. Right, just ask a really quick question. So my latest book was Has Anyone Seen My Husband? Ray has just launched a song called Where's My Husband? So I'm thinking, right, brilliant. I could try this together. But apart from me holding up the book, maybe going and playing the Ray song going, I don't really know what else I can do. And that just feels a bit, I don't know, feeble. I don't know if any thoughts. And also,
Sorry, you're asking for ideas on how to market Has Anyone Seen My
Yes,
Husband?
basically, because I'm not capable of and linking it in
So
with Ray's song, Where's My Husband?
I have an idea. It's a little
Oh, yes,
bit,
please.
do you know Sarah Blakely from Spanx? Her pitch to
No.
get her product into Saks or Bloomingdale's or whatever was she pretended to be a private investigator, like hunting for the right thing to support her clients. Spanx is like undergarments that are like shapewear essentially, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, I feel like Has Anyone Seen My Husband is like the perfect cloak and dagger, like private eye type of thing. Like if you put on a trench coat and you have like little video of you looking around and like trying to find him, and you could do like a whole series of videos of you looking for him. But instead, what you're really looking for is your book. But like
Oh
everywhere
yes, the
you,
Ah,
end. There's
right.
your
So
book.
everywhere you go, like you see like maybe his sock lying on the floor and you're like, oh, whatever. Like you're following the trail of his like debris, but actually it's
yeah,
your book that you find at the end. And when you find it, you're like, oh, thank God it's not him, you know, it's my book.
that is brilliant. And also, it's a really good excuse to buy a French coat.
Everyone needs trench coat. But actually, I'm just gonna riff off that as well, because that's a great idea. I wonder if there's just if you could film yourself doing, I don't know, like a series of stepping through a door, like opening a doorway, stepping into a door, just like looking around the room, closing the door again, and then it's another door, and then you're looking around the room, and just having, because you could just do it in a different rooms of your house,
Yeah,
you know, just like a 3-second clip, just stand, you know, prop up your phone, just for, I mean, well, it'd probably take you like 10 minutes to film, if that, clip them together. You've got the audio, and I think that Sandeha is absolutely right that the last one could be like you going, aha, there it is, but it's actually your book, rather than
love
your
that.
actual husband or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
great.
brilliant. Thank you both. Yeah, that's really good, fun idea way of doing it. Thank you.
Yeah, and it not overly complicated either, so it's quite an easy, quick thing to film, I think. But yeah, I like that you could have like goofy spectacles on, or if you wanted to like really sort of ham it up, or a trench coat would be coat would be wicked, or like a newspaper with eye holes cut in it, you know, sort of like you're looking, I don't know, like all that classic of the genre stuff. Okay.
Brilliant.
Is
Thank you
there
very much.
anything else? Are we all okay? Are we all set? So, Sandeha, you did ask about the next list of post ideas. So I did one in July. There was one in September. There is one coming out in October. I can't remember exactly the date off the top of my head, but there is one coming in October. Yeah, I haven't got it. I'm looking for it to see if I've got my calendar thing open, but I haven't. But it's coming. It's on its way.
No worries. And just quick correction, it's Sandhya, not Sandhya.
Sandhya,
Yeah.
sorry.
I'm not Zendaya,
Thank
unfortunately.
Thank you for correcting me. I appreciate it. I'm going to sort of come up with a way of making sure I don't get that wrong again.
Well, if you speak Spanish, Sandhya is watermelon in Spanish, and my accent's just on the first syllable. So instead of Sandhya, it's Sandhya.
Sandhya.
Oh, it's perfect. You pronounce that so beautifully. Thank you.
See you. Right, everybody, it's lovely to see you all as usual, and I will see you all soon.
Thanks very much.
Take
Love to
care,
see you all.
everyone.
Thanks.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Bye.